In our today's lesson, we are going to learn about integers, which is a very simple concept. And we are going to look at just the introduction part of it. And then in the coming lessons, we are going to maybe go deeper and deeper on integers. We have around 3 parts, which we are going to share the concept on integers. But today, we want to do just an introduction on our integers, which is a concept that is in grade 8. We are part of it in grade 7, but a good part of the integers is covered in grade 8, that is mathematics. And also we have some application part that is in grade 9. So this is for you that is as a grade 8 and a grade 9 learner who is preparing for your exam. And for the grade 9, it's a very good opportunity for you to remind yourself of the basic things on integers, because these are questions you meet especially in section 1. From around question 1 to question 5, you will meet around 2 or 3 questions, or even one question that is about integers. And you're going to have a number of questions or a number of ways in which it can be said, but for today, we want to just talk about integers. So we are going to start our learning, that is by looking at what are our integers. So our integers today is our point of interest, that is in our learning today, and we're going to have that is a good understanding of what we mean by an integer. So by definition, an integer is a whole number. By definition, an integer, this is a whole number. This is a whole number that does not have the fraction or decimal component. So in this case, we are going to have our integer defined, does not have our fraction of the decimal component. So in this case, an integer is just a whole number that does not have the fraction or decimal component. So it means this, that when you're talking about an integer, you can also define what is an integer and non-integer. So the non-integer is the vice versa of what we have said. These are numbers. These are numbers, or these are number. This is a number. We're going to go to a singular way. So this is a number that is written as a fraction or a decimal. This is a number that is written as a fraction or also as a decimal. So in this case, we can have an integer, we can also have an non-integer. And in this case, we are going to get an examiner asking you, especially in the identification part, you are going to identify that is an integer and an integer within a given set of numbers. So from there, we need to understand now these integers. We can have a number of integers. So we can have the types of integers. We have the types of integers, that is the second part. And the types of integers, the first type of integer we have are positive integers. We have positive integers. We have positive integers. We have positive integers. And our examples are as follows. So the positive integers, they are numbers which are to the right of 0. That is when you are referring to a number line. And our positive numbers, they can be written without the positive sign or the addition sign. the positive numbers can be written without the positive sign. It means the same thing. And what do we mean by that? For example, we have positive 5. This number can be written as 5 without having our positive number. So examples include the following. We have examples of integers, and the examples of integers that are positive, they include 1, we also have 2, we have 4, we have 10, we have 28, we have 31, we have also 1,000, we also have 23,491. So all of these, they are our positive integers. And simply it means that a positive integer does not have a sign, that is a negative sign or a minus sign before it. So on the other hand, we have the second type of integers. Those are negative integers. And the negative integers, they are written with a sign before them. So the second type of integer is we have the negative integers. We have negative integers. So the negative integers, examples, we can have a number of them. We can have a number of the examples. And the examples, they include the following. We have negative 1. We have also negative 40. We have negative 1,000. We have negative 3,427. So all of these, they are just negative numbers and they are integers, because within this set of numbers, you do not have a number that is in a fraction, a number that is in what? A decimal. Same case with our positive integers. The third type of integer is what we call a zero integer. The third type of integer is what we call zero integer. We have 0 as an integer. So we are basically saying that we have 3 types of integers. We have the positive integer, we have the negative integers, and then 0 is an integer, because our 0 is neither positive or it is neither negative. And one key thing is that our positive integers, they can be written without, that is the positive sign, but the negative numbers, they must be written with the minus sign that is before those numbers. Now, in this case, we want to look at situations in which we can talk about a number, whether it is positive or it is negative. For example, we have words, words that you can meet in an exam or in a question. And those words, they mean something, either positive or they mean negative. So in this case, we can talk of words that mean positive integers. That mean positive integers. So in this case, we have words such as 2 steps ahead, or 2 steps ahead. So the word ahead here, it is meaning that we are going towards the front, or we are going, that is, to the positive side. And another one we can talk about is above. For example, that is the aeroplane is 35 meters above sea level. Above, it means that 35 is going to be, that is positive. And then another word is upwards. For example, the learner walked 10 steps upwards. So the word upwards means that it's going to indicate a positive sign, and the number 7 or 10 of the number referred to is going to be, that is, positive. And then we have another number here. We have another word here, which is forward. Forward means it is positive, and then it means that, for example, you can, have an illustration where a learner is making 10 steps forward. So the word forward, it means our number, that is our integer, maybe 10 steps forward, it's going to be ahead. And another number you can talk about is upstairs. So upstairs, it means that the person is moving upwards, so they also mean that is positive. So these are words you can meet in a question, and they are keywords because you are supposed to understand and interpret what it means. So we are saying that our word like forward, upstairs, that is upwards, above, 2 steps ahead, they mean positive. So if you are doing your solution, then it means that you have to take them as positive integers. And on the other side, we can also talk about words that mean negative integers. Words that mean the negative or the number is going to be negative. So we have words like backwards. We have words like backwards. And then we have words like downstairs. We have words like downstairs. And then we have words like deep. For example, the stone is 10 meters deep. Deep means it's going to go downwards. And for example, if the pit latrine is, for example, 20 meters deep, it means that for you to reach where the bottom is, you have to go 20 meters from the ground level or the surface level. So another word we can talk about is we have 2 steps ahead, and then we have, for example, steps, that is 2 steps backwards. We are talked about it. We can also talk about another word like that is below sea level. Below sea level, or below whichever. It can be below the house, below the ground, or below a certain level. So in this case, we can have these words in a certain specific question. And for your interpretation for this one, it means that when we see a word like backward, downstairs, deep, 2 steps backward, below sea level, it means that whichever number is mentioned, for example, 10 meters below sea level. 10 meters, it means that we have 10 and then meters, but we have a negative. And those words that are deep, downstairs, backward, they just mean the same, that our number is going to be negative. And on this other side here, we have said that if a learner moves, that is 13 steps upwards. 13 steps, we are going to have plus 13 steps. So the positive and the negative, that is integers, can be identified by a certain specific word in different situations when they are represented. And for this case, we are going to stop it there for our learning today. And I believe that in our next lesson, we are going to look deeper knowledge on our integers. Thank you.